Hi, Gemini. So this is your extended reading for why you are home alone on Valentine's Day. And hopefully we can come up with some answers for you and make sure that you're not home alone on Valentine's Day if that's what you so desire. So I'm going to pull out some what could be blocks that you are working with, and if you are with, you could say with somebody, or maybe been dating somebody but you're still not with them as a couple on Valentine's Day, what kind of blocks they are working with or the relationship is working with. So all right, Gemini, let's get what's Gemini working with, or what's against them, or whatever right now. What can they work on between now and next Valentine's Day in order to not be alone? First card is barrier. So that makes me think you've got some emotional distance issues. You're emotionally unavailable at the moment, and there could be people that are interested in you, but your heart is not letting them in. You're guarded, you don't trust, and that's the biggest thing that you have working against you. Mirroring. So this is one of the things that I have learned in all the years that I have studied dating and relationships, because this applied to me. I was emotionally unavailable for many years. And when I finally met the one person that I really liked, I was like, he's emotionally unavailable. And then I was like, why do I keep collecting emotionally unavailable people? Was because I am. So anybody that you are currently dating right now is emotionally unavailable also. And that's one of the reasons you attract people that are similar to you. So you are mirroring the people that you are dating. You are finding those that are emotionally unavailable because you are too. And you know, so that's just facts are facts. All right, what else is Gemini dealing with? There's too many. Well, that's 2 cards. That's not too many. Vibrations. You also may, let's see, you're having a hard time finding people that are vibrating on your level. So for some reason, maybe you have done some spiritual work on yourself and you're vibrating up here, and you keep collecting these people that are down below, and I feel like you are going to the wrong places to find these people. So for instance, let's say that you meditate and you like to do this, that, and the other, and you're going to the bars to find somebody to date. Well, you're not going to find what you're looking for at the bars, because people that meditate don't generally go to bars. So I feel like you're fishing in the wrong pond is what they're trying to say. You're vibrating in a different level than the places that you are going to find somebody. So you need to start going and hanging out at the places where people like you hang out more. And meetup.com is a great place if you've never heard of it. There are all kinds of groups on there. And so you can put a list of all the things that you are interested in, and you'll get notifications when those kinds of groups or events or whatever happen. And if you start going to the places that you vibe with, then you're going to find other people that you vibe with. So I feel like that's part of the thing, is I keep hearing like plenty of fish. Like if you've been searching on Plenty of Fish to find somebody, most of the people that are hanging out on Plenty of Fish are probably not the kind of people that you want to hang out with in the real life. And that's funny to say, is because I met my guy that I date off and on occasionally on Plenty of Fish almost like 2 years ago. So we were both vibing in the same place, but I think we've both kind of started going up in vibration. So that's just, you got to be in the place that you want people to be, where you want them to be. Unawakened. That's a block. So if that's a block, yeah, I mean, I guess you're, oh, well, maybe the vibrations is you're vibrating low. Maybe that's what they were trying to say. You've been vibrating super low and nobody wants to be around you, because that would go more along with unawakened. People that are unawakened and not of a spiritual mind tend to go to the bars, and maybe that's why your vibrations have been super low lately, and the universe is saying you need to vibrate higher because you're turning people off. Either way, your vibrations are causing you problems, whether they're higher than the people you're hanging out with, or the people that you're hanging around with don't want to be around you because you're vibing low. Too many. What other blocks are Geminis currently working with? Reinvention. I feel like that is saying, the universe is saying that there is some stuff that you need to work on first. God, when I see reinvention, it makes me think you need to become a whole new person. So there's some stuff that you probably need to rectify before you're going to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right. Otherwise, you're just going to continue. You're going to continue bringing in the wrong people, or you're going to be chasing off or pushing away the right people. So you need to get some stuff within yourself cleaned up and cleared up before they're going to bring in anybody into your life. And even if you did bring anybody into your life, it's not anything that's going to last very long. So one more. Let's get one more block. Well, they got two. All right. So one is purge. I feel like that is like purging to me is decluttering your emotional body. And that makes me think of crying, which makes me think you've got some forgiveness. There's some stuff that you need to, some people you need to forgive, and you need to work on some forgiveness stuff before you're going to be available and ready for Mr. or Mrs. Right out there. So if you know specifically what I'm talking about, you need to work on that. And the only way to do that is to go into solitude. So you need to just, so what it feels like is like you just need to not be dating right at the moment. And the harder you try, the worse you're making it, because the more it frustrates you because you're meeting the wrong people, or it frustrates you because the people that you are meeting don't want to be with you, and it's just like a cycle. It's making things worse, and it's making your self-esteem worse, and it's making your vibrations lower and stuff. And so I feel like this whole thing is saying you need to take a time out from dating, period, and work on your stuff, and then go out and start looking, because then you're going to have a better time attracting the kind of people that you want to be with. Right now, you are not in a good place. You're not in a good state. You're not in a good mind frame. And I feel like I'm being taken back into my 20s and early 30s, when I always joked and said I had a big red stamp on my forehead that said I was looking for a man, and they could all see it and they ran. I feel like that's where you're at. It's like you're in this kind of desperation mode. It's like, I got to meet somebody. And every time you get turned away or turned down or ignored or whatever, it just makes you feel that much worse about yourself. And it's just this cycle. And the only way you're going to get off of this hamster wheel is to just step out of it, work on some of your own shit for a while, and then what you're looking for will come to you. I have spent 20, 30 years working on myself because I know exactly where you're at. And it's a painful place to be. A very painful place to be. So I can help you with that if you're interested. All right. So let's say that you are a Gemini and you maybe have cleaned up some of your stuff, but you've got somebody in mind. Maybe you've been dating them, but you're still not with them on Valentine's Day. Let's talk about what is blocking that person from you guys being in a full-blown relationship, or what's maybe blocking the relationship itself. Let me pull these. Whoa, sorry. Hit the camera. Let me pull these up in case some of these want to come out again. This would be whoever you have in mind, because there's plenty of times I was home alone on Valentine's Day, but maybe I had been dating somebody and they didn't ask me out or whatever. So this is kind of what's going on with them in their world and what's stopping you guys from being together. All right, so what's going on with that person? Devotion. They are devoted someplace else. They possibly could be devoted to work. They could be devoted to another person, and maybe they haven't completely healed from an ex-spouse, or they're still hung up on somebody else. Whatever the case is, if devotion for the other person that you're thinking about is a block, they are devoted someplace else besides you. And right now they're only able to be an observer, and it feels like they're not in a place where they can actively participate in I'm hearing like a broken leg. I feel like they can only like sit on the sidelines of the ball game and watch because they have a broken leg right now. And they can only just kind of sit back, and they can't be an active participant in a relationship for whatever reason. Perhaps that is because they are devoted to another person. They've still got healing or whatever to do, but they're not an active participant in a real relationship. What else is going on with that person that you may be thinking of? Understanding as a block. If that's a block, how is understanding a block for that person? They are not understanding. Okay. They don't understand that they should not be out looking around and yanking people around. They don't understand that they are not fully available. They don't understand what they are doing and how they are hurting people. There's a phrase out there that hurt people hurt people. They are a hurting person, and because they are hurting other people. They need to understand that they need to do the same thing. They need to go within. They need to not even put themselves out there on the market until they get fully healed. So don't take it personally. If you have somebody that you want to be with right now and they are avoiding you, or they're just not fully engaged, it's because they can't be, and it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's like they're hung up on somebody else. It's the timing is not right. It's not the right person. Whatever the case is, they shouldn't have been out there on the market at all looking around if they weren't serious. It's like when I sold real estate, I never took a listing unless I did when I was younger and stupid, but I didn't, as I got older and smarter, I did not take a listing if I did not feel the seller was serious about selling it, because all it was going to do was sit on the market, and it was going to cost me money and cost me time and aggravation, because if they did get presented an offer, they were going to turn it down because they weren't serious. It's that type of a feeling with this person. Is like, you could give them any offer in the world and they're going to turn you down because they're just not serious at this point. They've got too many things blocking them from being a full participant. They also have big dreams, and, for example, maybe their dreams involve, I don't know, moving to Australia and starting a business or something. And they got to get their big dreams in place and taken care of before they're going to be able to settle down. This happens a lot. In my opinion, this happens a lot for men. They can't settle down with females until they feel like they can financially take care of them. And if they have big dreams, a relationship is only going to be a burden to them. You can't take that personally either. You've got to find somebody that is on the same page, that wants the same thing, who has, you know, if you want to get married and have kids, then you need to find somebody who's ready to get married and have kids right now too. Stay away from somebody that wants to, you know, chase after their big dreams, because they're not going to be a good person for a relationship. And that's only just going to cost you frustration. You also you could be dating somebody that has some problems with the weather. If you're in Indiana, depression in the wintertime, I feel like, is fairly common because the days are short and the nights are long and it's cold and you want to hermit and stay inside. So whoever you have in mind, it could be a case of like they're just struggling day to day from, you know, getting out of bed, and just like all they can do is just get out of bed, go to work, and come home and maybe watch TV. It's because they just don't have a lot of interest in participating in life. And I feel like it's weather related. In the spring, when the sun starts coming up and the weather is better and the weather is nicer, then they're going to kind of perk up and maybe come back around. So I feel like that's weather related for some of you. And conclusion comes up. So how is that a block? Okay. Something that they're waiting on. For instance, a court case that they're waiting to get settled. Maybe they've got some money coming in and they want that to get taken care of. They lost their license because they were drinking and driving, and they're waiting to get their license back. They're waiting to get their life back in some way, shape, or form. Third party, something happened, you know, it just feels like, you know, maybe I don't know, whatever the case is, there's a third entity out here that is holding them back from moving forward, that has them tethered, you know, or maybe it's a case of they don't have a nice car or something, and they're like, I don't want to take them out because I drive a junker. I want to get a nice car. I don't know. There just feels like there's some things that they want to get in place that need to come to conclusion. It's like they're working on some stuff, and once that all kind of comes to conclusion, then they'll be ready to come forward and you guys can be together. All right, Gemini, that's about it for now. I look forward to hearing any comments that you may have. And if you want any kind of, obviously this is a general reading, so if you want something specific to your situation, I can do that. But I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye.